How's it going, everyone? Today I've got a very special review stroke installation guide for you. This is for the osmotics.co.uk RO system. This system itself is the 4-stage 50 gallon per day system. It comes with the carbon block, pre-filter, your membrane and your deionisation resin filter. You also get 2 meters of each colour tubing, the wrenches to tighten up the end caps on the filter, your copper pipe tap, this is so you can tap into your cold water feed. It's self-piercing. Your waste attachment, again, so you can put your wastewater tubing straight into a waste pipe. You get the membrane itself, and you get the deionisation resin. As standard, Osmotics do something quite a lot of other companies don't do. They supply you all pre-installed the pressure gauge. This is so you can see the PSI that's going through the system, and it gives you an idea of when you need to change the membrane, because when the pressure drops, you've got a good idea that the membrane needs changing. Also installed is the membrane flush valve. Now, the idea of this is to prolong the life of your membrane. If you just run it for 5 minutes before and after use, you'll find that the life of your membrane will be extended. The system itself is very well built. It's very professionally made. Everything's nice and tidy, very sturdy, and I mean, if you were going to have it fixed, that would fix lovely on your wall. Everything's self-contained. So a brilliant system. The price of this system is around about £81, which is a brilliant price for what you get. I'm going to show you a few different methods of installing this. I wanted to aim more for the people that haven't really got the room to have an RO system permanently installed. So I'm going to show you how to make this a portable system, which means that all you need to do is, when you want to use it, is connect it up. When you finish using it, you can quite easily disconnect it, pack it away until you need to use it again. Myself, I use around about 50 litres of RO water per week for my shrimp tanks. Now I have to cart 2 25 litre containers down to my local fish store to get my RO water, which cost me around about £9 to £10 each time. So by paying out £81 after 8 or 9 weeks, I've saved money. I've saved fuel getting there, I've saved having to lug the big containers around, and I've got something that's going to last me a hell of a lot longer, and I'm going to save a lot of money in the long run. So next I'm going to show you how to start making this a portable system with a few extra bits and pieces. Okay, the very first step in making your system portable is to get yourself some ball valves. These are available on the Osmotics website, and they're about £3 each. The idea of this is to lock your system after you've finished using it, so that it's easy to pack away. You're not going to have water leaking everywhere. You're not going to have contaminants being able to get into the tubing. So I suggest getting 3 of these, and then you'll connect one to your feed water, one to your drain, and one to your water outlet. They're marked up with in and out, and there's a directional flow arrow on the side of it. Each of the ports are marked up with stickers, so you can't really get confused as to what you're connecting up. The water feed in is red tubing, the drain is black, and the water out, the nice clean RO water, is blue. You want to cut yourselves off some bits of tubing, about 100mm long is perfect. and then you get one of your ball valves, and I'll start with the water feed in. Now, as I stated, there's a flow arrow on there, so what you want to do is put this into the outside, and all you do is you push the tubing in. I'll show you again. Push the tubing straight in, it's not going to come out, and the way you release it is to hold the white, see the white collar there, hold the white collar in, and you can pull the tubing out. So that is going into the outside, and I'll push that to the in. Next I'm going to do the drain, which is the black tubing. Now the drain water is coming out, so I need the flow arrow running towards me, and again it just pushes in, peel off the drain sticker, and that just pushes straight in. The next one I'm going to do is the faucet, which is obviously your tap. So this is the nice clean RO water coming out. So again, the RO water is going to be coming out this way, so I need the flow arrow running this way as well. So I'm going to use the blue tubing for that, and that just pushes in. This system is now set up to be locked off, so when I've finished using it, all I need to do is to turn the taps off, disconnect the tubing from these taps, and I can pack this away. Okay, there's several different ways to connect your live water feed. The first method is supplied as standard, and this is the permanent copper pipe fixture. Your copper pipe would run through this opening, and you would tighten the nut down so the copper pipe is clamped securely. You then turn this knob at the top here, and a pin pierces the copper pipe. You then retract that, and you have your permanent fixture. And when I say permanent, I mean you can't undo it. Once you've made the hole in the pipe, without cutting out that section of pipe, that hole's going to be there permanently. So you need to make sure you've got this in the right position before you tighten the top down. The way you connect your tubing is very simple. You get your piece of tubing, you slide the brass nut over the end, place on your plastic olive. Now on the olive there is a little bevel, so you want the narrow side pointing to the actual brass fitting. You'll then place the brass tube in the end, insert that, and then very carefully tighten up the nut as tight as it will go, and there's your tubing attached. Okay, now the other items that will also help keep your system portable, and I bought these to show you. This is a washing machine Y connector, this is a garden hose adapter, and this is a 3/4 inch to 1/4 inch BSP tap connector. There's several different combinations you can do with this. Where your washing machine is connected up, you'll have your washing machine hose going to the tap. If you put this before it, you can still put your washing machine hose on one end. You can then use this tap connector, screw that onto the other, and then your tubing will come out of here. You can also use your hose connector, So you can connect that to the end of your hose, and then you can have your tubing coming out of here. You can also connect this straight onto your outside tap, and then your tubing would run from underneath. Or you can use this Y connector again on the end, have this fastened to your outside tap. You can have your normal hose connector running from here, so you can still use your garden hose, and then you can have your tubing going to your RO system out this way. I'm going to show you some examples of that connected up now, just to give you an idea. You can screw the tap connector onto your outside tap and just insert your tubing, and that's your live feed. You can also, without having to disconnect your garden hose, use the hose connector screwed onto that, and you can push it straight into your hose lock system, and then when you're finished you can just disconnect it and pack your system away. Another way to connect your system is to use your washing machine hose. If you locate where your hose is connected to your tap, unscrew from there, place on Y connector, then you can put your washing machine hose on one end of the Y connector and your tap connector onto the other end of the Y connector there. That way your tubing will be getting its live feed. If you were going to permanently fix your RO system, you'd need to use your black waste pipe clamps. All you do is locate the waste pipe that you wish to fix this to, drill a 1/4 inch hole into your waste pipe, clamp this around it nice and securely using the bolts provided. Take your black waste tubing, slide over the nut, insert that very firmly into your clamps, and then you can tighten down, and that's your permanent black waste. Because I'm trying to keep this system portable, I won't be using that clamp at all. I'll just be inserting this black tubing straight into the waste pipe, like into my sink or into my bath, an outside drain. That way it's easy to remove when I want to pack the system away. To permanently fix your RO system, you'll need to use your black waste pipe clamps. This just securely fixes around your waste pipe. You drill a 1/4 inch hole into your waste pipe, then insert the nut over your black tubing, insert firmly and tighten up. This way your black waste will just drain straight into your waste pipe. Because I'm going to keep this as a portable system, I'm just going to be pushing my black waste pipe here down into a plug hole or into a drain. That way it's easy to remove when I'm not using the system. To install your membrane is very, very simple. All you need to do is to remove the deionisation resin chamber, disconnect the tubing and take your membrane chamber off. Unscrew the end, making sure you leave the seal in place. Take your membrane and then insert with the watertight seals into your membrane chamber. On the end of the membrane is a rubber washer. What you want to do is, if you push that firmly down, that's now locked in place. Then it's just a case of screwing on the end cap. You can use your spanner and tighten that up so it's nice and firm. Then it's just a case of very simply connecting the membrane canister back on. To install your deionisation resin is again very simple. Disconnect the tubing, remove the canister, just take the clamp stands off for the time being, unscrew the end of the chamber, again making sure you don't lose or damage the washer at the end. Inside you'll find a piece of foam and an empty chamber. Take your supplied deionisation resin, tear the packet open, and inside you'll see the deionisation resin. Once you've filled your chamber up with the resin, insert the sponge to the top again, and then carefully screw on your end cap, and then just repeat the process. And connect your system back up again, and that's your system ready to go. Okay, the outside tap is now turned on. There's now water flowing through the system. The flush valve is in the open position, so I need to close that because I don't want to be flushing now. That way any water is going through the membrane and I'll start producing water. You can see I've connected the life tubing to my outside hose. This is just using the hose connector and the tap connector. Plugs nice and simply into my hose lock system. Eventually this is going to be outside, so this is the method I'm going to be using all the time. My wastewater is just at the moment going out through an open window, but again that will just be going straight into my drain outside. My blue tubing, which is the nice pure water, is being collected into this container. Once this is filled up, I'll replace it with my second container, and then I'll shut the system down. I only use 2 of these a week, which is perfect. One day I can have both containers filled up, pack it away for the rest, as I've got nowhere to permanently fix this. You need to change these when your TDS starts raising. At the moment I'm trying to aim for 0 TDS, which is what the deionised resin is doing. When your TDS starts creeping up, it's an indicator that your resin needs changing. Now the resin you get supplied by Osmotics is enough to do at least 2 chambers, so I filled it up once. I've got enough left to do the chamber again. Your resin isn't the only thing you need to change. There's also the membrane. Membrane usage is all dependent on your water that's going into the system. I'm in a hard water area, so the likelihood is that my membrane will need changing sooner than someone in a soft water area because of the scale. It should last you at least 6 to 12 months, but a good way to test when your membranes need changing and when your deionized resin chamber needs changing is to use an inline dual TDS meter. This simply connects to the water coming in and to the water coming out of the filter, and you can switch between the two. You can see what the TDS of your water is going into the system and what the TDS is coming out. I'm going to show you this being installed now, that way you've got a good idea of how to do it. Installing the TDS meter is very simple, especially on a portable system. Obviously, if you're going to fix your RO system permanently, then you want to do your cabling nice, you want to put it in a nice position. But with a portable system, all you need to do is take the supply T connectors, hold it so both pins are in line with each other, push it straight into the T connector like so. We do the same with the other one. Take a small piece of tubing and insert it into the line. Now, as I say, because this is a portable system, what I'm going to do is insert this one into my tap outlet like that. Connect my hose back on like so. Take my tubing that's going through to my unit and insert that on the line. So that's the water going in now done. With my water that's coming out of the system, all I'm going to do is remove the tubing from the ball valve, insert it to that, and then put the rest of my tubing back on there. That's it. That's all you need to do to install your TDS meter. I'm going to go and turn the system back on now, and we'll take a reading. Okay, the system's now back on and everything's pressurising back up again. I'm reading my 50 psi and water should start coming back out of my tubing in a second. There we go. So now we can take a reading. So first let's have a look at the water going in. So we turn my unit on. So the water going into my unit is 301 parts per million, and the water coming out is 0. Exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I've been aiming for. So we know that the RO system is doing its job and it's removing all the solids from the water.